Hey, Riley J2A here. Okay, so today going to be talking about communism in Canada. Okay, so as of Friday, okay, it is no longer legal to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns in the country of Canada. Okay, national freeze on handguns is now in effect in Canada. Okay, this is outrageous. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about Canada, but I don't know much about Canadian gun laws. Okay, so I'm just going to run through a couple things, and then I'm going to talk about what we in the U.S. Should take away from this situation in Canada. All right. So, getting right into it, Canada, okay, they already had magazine restriction. Okay, I believe 5 rounds in Canada. They have a firearm registry. Okay, they have intense restrictions on hunting and hunting rifles. You can't, I believe anyway, you can't even shoot a gun on private property, even if you own 1,000 acres of property, you own guns legally in Canada, you can't legally shoot on your own property. Okay? It has to be a government facility, I believe. You have no self-defense rights with firearms in Canada. So even if you did own a gun legally, somebody threatened you, tried to kill you, whatever, and you defended yourself with that firearm, no, that's not acceptable in Canada. Okay, so Canada already had intense restrictions on firearms. Okay, they did all that, I'm sure, in the name of gun safety. And in I believe it was early 2020, maybe late 2019 in Canada, they banned so-called assault weapons. I believe what they said was military grade firearms. Okay. Civilians generally have better firearms than the military. Okay, a mil-spec AR is a cheap one on the civilian market. That's neither here nor there. It's just outrageous how little these people know about firearms. Again, neither here nor there. So they banned so-called assault weapons 2 years ago, and now 2 years later, banning handguns. Okay. Yep, Justin Trudeau, he banned handguns. Okay, this is the equivalent of roughly like an executive order here in the States, is essentially what he did. This is not a bill or anything that was passed. He just decided, I don't like handguns for civilians, and that's it. No handguns for civilians. So, okay, that's the situation in Canada. Now I'm going to talk about what we can learn here in the U.S. and what we should be taking into consideration. Okay, if you have you been paying attention to what I've been saying in this video? Okay, they've got magazine restrictions. Okay. They've got a registry. Those are two things that politicians here in the U.S., communist wannabes, want very badly. Okay. Then they got an assault weapons ban, quote unquote. Something that communist wannabes here in the U.S. want desperately, and they're trying to get with H.R. 1808, which is, past the U.S. House. There's a magazine ban in there as well, so that could do two things for them if they were to get it. Two things they want. Okay, Now, right now, they're saying, because right now they're trying to get these so-called assault weapons here in the U.S., trying to get them banned. So now they're just saying like, oh, we just want reasonable gun control. Like we're gonna, we just want the military style weapons. Okay. So of course that's what they're saying now. But look at Canada. People often say, look at history, to see what's going to happen if we allow any of this. That's a good place to look, but you don't even have to look at history. Look at modern day Canada if you want to see what's going to happen, okay? Gun control is a ladder, all right? So, when they ban, if they ban, in their minds when they do it, what's next? Okay, they say now that, oh, no, we just want the military style weapons. That's it. We just want reasonable gun control. That's it. Okay, well, look at Canada. 2 years after they banned so-called military weapons, now they're banning handguns. Okay, so if here in the U.S., if they would have passed an assault weapons ban, like HR 1808, what happens next? Pretty not long after, it's handguns. Okay. At what point is it pump shotguns? At what point is it any shotgun with a barrel less than 26 inches? Because you're not going to use that for hunting. So, at what point is there a magazine capacity limit for hunting rifles? 3 rounds, 1 round. Okay. At what point is this the best firearm you can legally own? Okay, this is a 28-inch barrel single shot shotgun. At what point is that the best platform that you can legally own? You know what I'm saying? It's a ladder, okay? It's assault weapons, it's magazines, it's handguns, it's certain shotguns, Somewhere close to the ladder, to the top of the ladder, is no firearms for civilians in this country. Okay, what happens next? What happens at the top of the ladder? Communism. Okay, they're going to take physical dollars so they can track every purchase you make. They're going to take your vehicles. They're going to take your privately owned property. Okay, that is communism. That's what happens when we have no firearms. Okay, so all you got to do is look at history and, other countries such as Canada to see we can't give up our Second Amendment rights here in the U.S. We have those rights because our founding fathers knew what would happen if we didn't have the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment protects all other amendments and every other human right that we may have here in this country. Okay, so that is the takeaway from this situation in Canada that I believe we should be focusing on here in the U.S. All right? We got to keep our guns to keep our freedom, okay? And in Canada, they don't have these constitutional rights. So those rights are able to be taken away with, the sign of a pin, It's not good. If you live in Canada, wow, that is unfortunate. And I'm sorry, because your freedoms are being stripped rapidly and regularly. But for those of us who live here in the U.S., let this be a lesson. We don't want to see the same thing happen here, and you better believe our politicians want this bad. They love this. Justin Trudeau is a hero to them. Okay? That's the takeaway for me, and I feel that others should consider this takeaway and these points that I made. I got a little heated. This is obnoxious, okay? We're talking about the difference between a free country and the opposite of that, okay? So I'm going to get out of here. Goodbye.